Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to episode 135 of the FAB and Fearless Business Booster Short Show. My name is Yinka. I am a business strategist. I am a speaker, I am a coach, and I'm an incoming author. And I support women to create wealth in and through their businesses by helping them to focus on what matters most for the business, which is cash flow and strategy, and what matters most for the business owner, which is mindset and habits. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this episode of the Booster Shot Show, where each week at 1:30 p.m. UK time on a Wednesday, I come to you with a short, sharp shot to boost both you and your business with one powerful truth and one actionable tip. And if you can see or hear me, hopefully, and if you can see and hear me over on my social platforms, so I intend to be streaming over on my LinkedIn, my Facebook, and my YouTube platforms. If you can see and hear me, please jump into the chat and say hello. Let me know that you can hear the sound of my voice. There is someone called LinkedIn user. Thank you so much for joining me. It could be Sharon, it could be Sonia. LinkedIn never wants to tell me who you are through the tech, but lovely Jackie Raymond. It's so excellent to have you in the house. Thank you so much for letting me know that you can see me live over on LinkedIn and Facebook. And I will very quickly check that I am also live on my Facebook before we rock and roll on this week's topic of the truth about value. Hey, Latrice, it is so lovely to have you in the house today. Thank you so much for joining me over on my LinkedIn. I will, as I said, just check Facebook, but Jackie beat me to it. Thank you, beautiful lady. I appreciate you. And I'm so excited that we are live and direct on the socials to share more about the truth about value. So ahead of me jumping into this really powerful topic, and what I will say is we are going to have a few more truths. Last week's session was the truth about debt. And I cannot believe how many messages I received after that broadcast around the power of that topic, how it had shifted people's thinking, how it really transformed the way that men and women were feeling about debt that they were in, that they took out, that they were engaged with. So if you haven't already taken the opportunity to check out the truth about debt, which is Booster Shot Show 134, I absolutely recommend it. Those of you who've seen it, drop in the chat. Let them know that I'm not just mucking around or I'm not just pretending. That 134 was definitely worth the watch. Today, we are talking about the truth about value. And I have both a powerful truth and an actionable tip to share with you on this topic, which I am so excited to do. Hey, Stefan, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate your support. We are talking about the truth about value because value is such an important part of the equation when it comes to success in business. Hey, Laratu, lovely to have you here. Value is so important and yet is so misunderstood. And I'm not one to let things be misunderstood for long. So I will be sharing just a few tips as well. You know, the Booster Shot shows are pretty short. I have a hard stop at 2:00 as well. So I'm definitely not going to be here for long. But I want to just start whetting your appetite to help you think about the opportunity that we have when we truly get a good understanding of value. Yes, Stefan, I know you're not a woman. I got that from your picture. And don't you worry. So 2 things that the guys in my audience are going to be excited to know. Number 1, obviously, the Booster Shot Show is available for everybody. I purposely put it on my LinkedIn profile, on my Facebook, and on my YouTube. So technically, it's available to anyone in the world with an internet connection, and that is by design. I do not want you to worry about the fact that the predominant focus of my work is women, because good information and knowledge is good information and knowledge, and guys need it too. But it gets even more exciting because I have so many men in my DMs, in my world, asking about my work, talking about the fact that they would love to get more access and more insights into my work. I have something brewing for the guys in my life. And so I just ask you for a little bit more patience and to hold tight. But Stefan, I already have your name and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. It could be Stefan, it could be Stephen, it could be Stephen. Okay, cool. You just given me a thumbs up, so all good. But yes, there is something brewing for the guys in my life around helping you lot with your cash flow too. But hold fire. As I said before, it's something that's incoming and something that I think is going to really help you. And it won't be just for guys, but it will be targeted at guys so they can come in and share in this goodness. So I'm excited to share a bit more about that in the days ahead. So hold fire. I'm not forgetting you and I'm not leaving you out. But in the meantime, ladies and gents, please feel free to do two things. Number one, tell me how you are doing today on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, Yinka, things could not be any worse. 10 being, wow, Yinka, things could not be any better. Let me know how you are doing. And number two, tag a friend. Tag a friend, reshare this where you are watching this, and let's spread the word on some good quality money, mindset, business, habits, cash flow knowledge. I'd be really, really grateful to you for doing that. So let's talk value. And the first thing I always like to do whenever I am broaching a topic anew is I like to share a definition. So that's exactly what I did. I searched on the search of your choice, but I searched the word value. And the first truth I want to really share on the idea of value is that value is both a noun and a verb. So it is a common item thing. It's an intangible, as it were, but it is a noun, an object, a person, place, or thing. It is also a verb. It is an action. It is something to be done. And I think that is a powerful truth that even begins our exploration to really understand the importance of this concept. Because we often think of value as the noun, and we forget that it's also a verb. And that can have dramatic consequences on how we think about doing business and who we choose to do business with. So, the first point I'm sharing today, this first truth about value is both a noun and a verb. It is a person, place, or thing, it's an object, but it's also something to be done and to take action on. Now, the reason why this becomes really important is when we look at the definition of value. So, according to dictionary.com, which and the definition comes from Oxford Languages, the value, the noun, is the regard that something is held to deserve. So, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. And the example that they give us there is your support is of great value. I'll read that definition again. So, value is the regard that something is held to deserve, or the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. Now, that's the noun definition. The verb definition is to consider something or someone to be important or beneficial, or to have a high opinion of the said thing or person. So, value, the verb, is to consider something or someone to be important or beneficial, or to have a high opinion of that something or that someone. Now, let me know in the chat if that definition rings true for you. You understand that value is something's worth, something's important, the estimation of something. And to value is to esteem, to note something's worth or value. Hi, Janie. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, the reason why this is important is because of the one powerful truth that I want to share with you today. I will drop the actionable tip a little bit later on. But what we understand, and the valuable tip I want to share with you today, is simply that value that is not valued will not be treated as valuable. Now, the reason why I love that actionable tip, that one powerful truth, is because it uses value in 3 different contexts there. Value, noun, that isn't valued, verb, is not treated, will not be treated as valuable. Adjective. I bet you didn't think you were coming to the Booster Shot show today for a conversation about grammar. And you're really not. This is not a conversation about grammar, but what it is a powerful insight into our role as entrepreneurs. Because when it comes to our role as entrepreneurs, we have three roles in relation to value. So our first role is we are value architects. We construct value. We create things of great value, of great usefulness, of great importance, and of great worth. And that is an incredibly powerful place to be. It is so important that we do not forget our power to create value. We literally are alchemists. We can craft value out of ideas and pictures in our mind. It is so important that we recognize how powerful we are as entrepreneurs to create value. That is something that we get to do. And that is absolutely one of our key roles as an entrepreneur. It is to create value to put out there in the marketplace. Specifically, value occurs in providing solutions to problems, in helping people to create the results that they want faster or easier. This is something that is so important for us to remember, because we often think about value and we immediately run to cash. And that is not inappropriate, because cash is a store of value. And yet, cash is not the only type of value there is out there. And you do not always need cash to create value. We are values architects. Long before we even get into the arena of cash, we have the opportunity to create immense value of many different kinds. Drop in the chat and let me know that this is landing with you. Because we can often convince ourselves that, oh, I don't have money, so I can't create, value or the thing that I want. And I just want you to understand that that is not the truth. Money is one form and one way we store value, but it is not the only way. There are many, many types of value. And the important thing we need to understand is that value that is not valued will not be treated as valuable. And so our second role as entrepreneurs, after we are values architects, is that we are values communicators. We have to be incredibly good at communicating the value of something to another party. That is often the role of marketing and sales, but to be honest, that's the business of business. The business of business is the communication of value. You will not stay in business if you cannot communicate value. And so when it comes to focusing on skills that really create powerful opportunities, the communication of value is right at the top of the list. So that's communicating the financial value, the social value, the relational value, the temporal value, the personal value, the societal value, the economic value. You can see there's a long list of types of values. If you want to get great at business, if you want to get great at cash, you have to be great at communicating value. There's no sidestepping that. And we see this all the time. It is not the party with the best value construction that is the wealthiest. It's the person who is the best at value communication that is often the wealthiest. So to put that in practical terms, it's not always the best products and services that win. It's not always the businesses with the best products and services that win. It's the businesses with the best marketing and sales. Yep, I know, but I don't make the rules. I just play the game. That's human nature. And it also goes to show us, but again, that's a different booster shot show for another time. It goes to show us that we don't even buy the products or the services. We're buying into the marketing and the sales. But like I said, another show for another time. Because I have the third of the jobs that are so important to us as entrepreneurs to let you know about. And this is the one that we often miss and makes the most difference. We are values discerners. What does that mean? It means that we tell, discernment is the ability to tell, distinguish between one thing and another. And so our role as entrepreneurs is to discern our values and to discern the values of the other party to our potential transaction, relationship, insights. And this is the bit, ladies and gents, that is the truth about value coming home to roost, because value is not, it's not immutable. Value is contextual and value is subjective. What that means is that what I think is valuable to me, but it is not valuable to everyone. And what you think is valuable to you. And you will find somebody who feels equally as strong that it has no value at all. So what does that mean? It means that if you take the time, roll up your sleeves, make magic, and create this incredible value in the marketplace and become brilliant at values communication, if you do not effectively discern the value of who you are showing your offers and services to, you are going to struggle in business. Not because your product isn't good, not because your sales and marketing is ineffective, but because the people who you are pointing it to do not value what you value. So finding people who value what you value is the fundamental important truth about value. Value is not universal. Everybody does not value the same thing in the same way. And why is this important to note? Because value that isn't valued won't be treated as valuable. Value that isn't valued. Noun, verb. So Stefan asked this brilliant question. Is there a universal value? I believe there is because I believe in God. But what I also know that while I believe in God, there are different expressions, like we are all individuated expressions of God. We are individuals, and therefore we have different cultures, different backgrounds, different histories. And so in context, we see things differently. So yes, there are universal values, but what I will say is that they are not to the same. So for example, if I take the idea of honesty or integrity, I think that is a pretty universal value that's valued across the board, and yet the expression of it, even the definition of it, is different from one culture to the next. Trust me, as a Nige kid growing up in Britain, having traveled around the world, having experienced many cultures, integrity does not mean the same thing as you cross those borders and as you experience new cultures. And so what that means is your role as an entrepreneur is to get good at finding those that value what you value. It is really important to recognize that it doesn't matter if you are a farmer and someone who owns, a beef you create these incredible burgers and you treat those cows with such respect and you massage them and you treat them beautifully and you kill them humanely and you make the most delicious burger that has ever been made. You are unlikely to sell any of them if you take them to a vegan festival. And the reason that you are unlikely to sell them isn't because your burger isn't good, isn't because the packaging isn't amazing. It's because they don't value what you value. And you don't value what they value. And so it's incredibly important. This is the fundamental piece of the puzzle. Because if you do not find people who value what you value, then you will be forever placing what you have in front of them and receiving an answer that you don't want in return. Ladies and gents, let me know in the chat that this is landing with you because I want to share the one actionable tip that I have for you today. What I've shared about so far is the importance of understanding what value is, the importance of understanding the 3 roles that we have in relation to value: value architect, value communicator, values discerner. I talked about the fact that we spend so much time focusing in on creating value, our value architecture. We spend a bit more time on the values communication, but what is at the fundamental to really help you create success in business and success in cash flow is that values discernment, and nobody's speaking about that. And so my one actionable tip for you today is to get really good about values discernment. And you get to do this in 2 ways. Number 1 is to document your values. What are your values as a person, as a business owner? Who are you as you go out into the world? So, for example, one of my values, or one of the things that I feel really, really passionately about is that people are unapologetic when it comes to understanding and mastering money. So my value is about the understanding of value. I also have many other values. I value excellence. I do value integrity. But you heard me say before that it's different. What integrity means to me may well be different to what integrity means to you. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to find the word descriptors of your values, and then not only to document them, but to define them. Define your values. What does values mean? What does integrity mean to you? Integrity means to me that your yes means yes and your no means no. That's what it means to me. Now, that isn't what it means to everybody. So your actionable tip is to document and define your values. Because the beautiful thing about that is when you do that, then you are able to share that with the world. And those that value what you value will be like, yeah, I love that. I'm totally for that. Let's go. And the greater thing is the people who are like, I don't care about any of that, are able to leave and make more space for more people who do value what you value. And so it is so important that you are able to not only document, but also define what your values mean to you so that you can share that with others. And so I'm going to challenge you over the next 7 days until we come back to the next Booster Shot show. I want to see a post on the platform of your choice that outlines your values to your audience. Tell your audience what you stand for. What do you stand for? What do you stand against? Who are you for? Who are you against? Or what are you against? I don't suggest being against people specifically. And so I love that. Thank you, Stefan. I can see you've talked about truth and authenticity. I feel exactly the same. I'm really passionate about truth. That's why I come on here every week sharing what I believe is truth and doing so authentically. But what does that mean to you? How does that express itself for you? So get the post out. Feel free to tag me either at the bottom of the post or in the first comment to let me know that you have done this little actionable tip. And let's ask your audience who else stands for this. Because that is the foundation of you creating success for yourself in your business and success for yourself in your bank account. A values mismatch will always mean that the value that you put out there may not be as valued as you need it to be and will not be treated as valuable. And we're seeing that all over the world. Oh my God, this this rollback on incredibly important things like DEI is happening because of a values mismatch. Everywhere we are seeing recanting and rollbacks. This is a values mismatch. Now, that doesn't mean that DEI is not valuable. It means it's not valued there. And that's fair enough. I'm always minded that people should be authentic in their truth. And if DEI is not what you value, I'd like to know that so that I can choose how I spend my money and where I spend my time. So that's me personally. I'm not so mad at the rollback. I pretty much fathomed that it was cosplay all along. But that's another Booster Short show. Right, ladies and gents, I have a hard stop at the top of the hour. Thank you so, so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Please share your biggest takeaway in the chat. And what I would ask of you is if you've heard the sound of my voice, this really resonates with you, that you put incredible value in the world, but you are not seeing it treated as valuable. This is part of the work that we do in my programs focused on creating consistent cash flow. And so it is really, really important. If you want to know more about my work and you want to come along and find out more, please drop the word value in my DMs or in the comment section and let's connect. Let's have a conversation if you want support in this area. But in the meantime, take care, ladies and gents. Have a fabulous rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you in the spaces. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.